Okay, welcome back to Giro 3 YouTube channel. We're having a bit of a quick look over of the MORI MA-100 that I've finally stripped down and it's been cleaned up. Just do a quick run through this and I'll show you some interesting stuff in a minute. So basically it's cleaned up okay. This is the centre housing. The motor, I'll do some more work on it later on, but I've cleaned up a little bit, so that's a bit better. The bottom housing, I'll get these last bed blasted and cleaned up, and then I'll probably paint them and everything. So yeah, all the gears. Now I've got all the manky grease off them. So, and this is the other gear. Everything's just heavy duty in this thing. Jeez. I'm going to replace the bearings, but all the bearings I'm going to replace anyway. So I'll clean them all up. So there's, this is stuff for the potentiometer. No, that's for the drive. I'm seeing the potentiometers in this one. So your potentiometer, I've never seen a potentiometer have such a heavy duty gear on it. But there you go. The drive gear, I've cleaned it up. So yeah, and then this is the other drive gear. So you've got the flat plate there, and you've got all the screws, nuts and bolts on there. So yeah. But the interesting part about it, and the bearing ring, now you can see a bit more what it looks like. Now without the grease all over it. Now that's like, look how thick that is. There's my hand, and that is like over the top. Okay, this is the interesting part. I've reassembled upside down. This is the actual rotator here, upside down. The top housing, and I've reassembled some bearings in and put the two ring gear bearing tracks in. So basically, if you look down in here, the gears on this side, well, okay, we'll look at this one first. The gears on this one is one full piece, right? There's one piece gear in this one, where this one's a two-piece. I'll go back the other one. It's a two-piece gear, and they're sandwiched together. I probably should show that later on, but and they're set out at exactly half a tooth out. So I've just done some calculations, and I'm trying to figure out how this works. So basically, if I do a rotation of this, you'll see the actual outer ring gear moves. Now, just imagine this to be upside down and moving the top one instead. And basically, I've just counted the teeth. There's 50 teeth. It takes 50 revolutions of this, what do you want to call it, to go around to give me one revolution of this. I'm going, very interesting. And that's all caused by just half a tooth out. I was trying to figure out how this is working. So when you look at it going around, this is, because it's all upside down, of course, going around and around and around and around and around. The other beauty of this is, I'll stop it there, you can't turn it back on itself, so it's a natural lock. Yes, the gears could have had a bit more, been a bit tighter in the gearbox, but you can't turn it back on itself, so it's a natural brake. Very interesting. So I just had to find out how this worked, and basically, because I first thought that these gears were physically separate and it was spinning. I didn't know how it was working. So basically, now I know how it works. A very interesting system, and yeah, just like I just thought I'd share it with you. So round and round and round we go. We'll do one revolution. So this is probably spinning at about this speed, because it does about a 60-second or just over 60-second rotation. So you can see how fast it's going. I have to be doing at least this. And there we go. We have 50 revolutions, 50 teeth, half a tooth out, so 50 revolutions give me one revolution, so it's a 50-to-1 ratio on the top housing. And then you have your reduction gearing, wrong one, your reduction gearing onto your drive gear as well as, and then the other reduction gearing. So it's like interesting, and a very powerful, torquey AC motor. The thing weighs a mozza, so there you go. There's some interesting facts about this MORI MA-100. And just to mention, this is the small one, and then they made another one which is the MX-1000. So everything would have been just bigger again, I suppose. But I think we'll leave it there. and we'll carry on, and I might be a bit more light there, might be able to see the actual gears a bit better. So you can see exactly half a gear out, and that's how it moves. Otherwise it would not move. I wouldn't think it would. Or it would go around, but it wouldn't do anything. So to be half a gear out is what does the rotation. So if you had the gear, the same sort of gear on this side, as in the one piece, and not staggered, it wouldn't move. Interesting. Very interesting. Okie dokie. Oh, it just flared out. Righty-o. I shall catch you next video. Bye.